fear of failure. It's something we all face at one point or another. It holds us back, paralyzes our ambitions, and makes us hesitant to take risks or pursue our dreams. Whether it's the fear of rejection, fear of disappointing others, or simply the fear of not measuring up, failure seems like an obstacle that's too daunting to overcome. But what if failure wasn't the enemy? What if it was a necessary stepping stone on the path to success? In this video, we'll explore how Stoic philosophy, particularly the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, can help us conquer the fear of failure and embrace it as an integral part of growth. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." This Stoic principle teaches us that obstacles, including failure, aren't roadblocks. They are the very things that pave the path forward. Stay with us as we delve into how embracing failure through Stoic wisdom can transform fear into fuel for growth. And if you know someone who struggles with the fear of failure, share this video with them. Together, we can break free from the chains of fear and move forward with confidence. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, offers us profound wisdom on how to view the challenges and failures we face. His quote, "What stands in the way becomes the way," encourages us to shift our perspective on obstacles, including failure. Instead of seeing failure as something to be avoided at all costs, Marcus teaches us that failure can actually be a powerful tool for growth. When we encounter difficulties or setbacks, rather than feeling defeated, we can choose to embrace them as opportunities to learn, improve, and move forward. This Stoic mindset is revolutionary in how it reframes our relationship with failure. What if failure wasn't something that stops us, but something that propels us? What if, instead of avoiding failure, we ran toward it, knowing that it's through these very challenges that we build resilience, wisdom, and character? When we truly internalize this teaching, we realize that failure is not the end, but a crucial part of the process, the path to mastery, success, and personal growth. Marcus Aurelius' words, "What stands in the way becomes the way," offer a profound lesson in how we can approach failure. Too often, we view failure as the enemy, something to be feared, avoided, or ashamed of. We worry that a mistake will derail our progress or make us appear incapable. This mindset can hold us back, preventing us from taking risks, pursuing our goals, and realizing our full potential. But in Stoic thought, failure is not the enemy. It's an essential part of the journey. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the very obstacles we encounter, including our failures, can become the very means of growth and transformation. The things that stand in our way are not there to stop us. They are there to show us the way forward. Consider the example of a person trying to start a new business. The fear of failure might hold them back from taking that first step. They might worry about losing money, disappointing others, or not succeeding. But through the lens of Stoicism, we can see that failure is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Every mistake, every setback, is an opportunity to learn something new, to adapt, and to improve. Instead of viewing failure as a roadblock, we can see it as a stepping stone. When we fail, we gather information that helps us make better decisions in the future. We build resilience as we learn how to pick ourselves up after a setback. And most importantly, we grow as individuals by learning to control our response to failure rather than letting it control us. Reflect on the times you failed in your life. Maybe it was a project that didn't work out, a relationship that ended, or a goal that seemed just out of reach. How did you respond to those failures? Did they paralyze you, or did they propel you forward? Did you allow failure to teach you, or did you try to avoid it at all costs? Stoicism teaches us that our failures are not things to be ashamed of. They are opportunities to grow stronger. As we face challenges and setbacks, we build our emotional resilience, our problem-solving skills, and our ability to adapt. Failure, then, isn't something that stops us from achieving our dreams. It's a necessary part of the process. The key is to shift our mindset from fear to acceptance. Instead of resisting failure, we must embrace it as a natural part of the learning process. Every failure brings us one step closer to success. The more we embrace this truth, the less fear will control us, and the more we will be able to take bold, confident actions toward our goals. In the modern world, the fear of failure is a powerful force that holds many of us back. Whether we're starting a new venture, pursuing a dream, or trying something outside of our comfort zone, the fear of failing can paralyze us. We imagine all the things that could go wrong, the judgment we might face, or the consequences of a perceived failure. But Stoicism, and particularly the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, provides a radically different way to approach failure. In his writings, Marcus Aurelius teaches us that obstacles, including failure, are not things to avoid, but opportunities for growth. What stands in the way becomes the way. This powerful Stoic principle shows us that failure is not a roadblock. It is the very thing that can lead us to success. It's through the difficulties, mistakes, and setbacks that we learn, grow, and refine our path. The Stoic approach to failure Stoics don't see failure as something to be feared or avoided. Instead, they understand that failure is an inevitable part of life and an essential aspect of growth. Failure gives us valuable feedback. It shows us what works and what doesn't, what we need to improve and how we can adapt. It's not about avoiding mistakes, but about learning from them. For example, let's say you've been working on a project for months, only to find that it doesn't succeed as you had hoped. Your instinct might be to feel defeated, to quit, or to give in to the belief that you're not good enough. But the Stoic mindset teaches you to pause and reframe the situation. What can I learn from this? What is this failure teaching me? In this moment of failure, you have the power to choose how you react. You can either allow the setback to defeat you, or you can embrace it as part of the process. Remember, every successful person has faced failure. It's not the failure itself that defines them, but how they respond to it. Do they give up, or do they learn, adapt, and continue? Reframing failure as a stepping stone. The key to overcoming the fear of failure lies in reframing our understanding of what failure actually is. Failure isn't a sign of defeat, it's a sign of effort. It is a reminder that we're pushing our limits and stepping out of our comfort zone. When we embrace failure in this way, it becomes less of a fear and more of a necessary step on the path to success. Think of the example of Thomas Edison. When he was inventing the light bulb, he famously failed thousands of times before he finally succeeded. He didn't see these failures as setbacks. He saw them as experiments, learning opportunities that brought him closer to his goal. As he said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This is the Stoic mindset in action, seeing failure not as an obstacle, but as a process of learning and progress. Similarly, in our own lives, we can view every failure as a step toward mastery. Whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal growth, every challenge, every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of it. Practical Stoic strategies for conquering the fear of failure. Reframe your perspective on failure. The first step to conquering the fear of failure is to change how you view failure itself. Instead of seeing it as a defeat, view it as a learning experience. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to improve? Every failure holds a lesson, and the more we learn from our failures, the closer we get to success. Focus on what you can control. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus only on what is within our control. We cannot control the outcomes of every situation, but we can control our actions, our thoughts, and our reactions. When we focus on doing our best and learning from our experiences, the fear of failure diminishes. It's the fear of uncertainty and the unknown that often paralyzes us, but the Stoic mindset encourages us to accept what we cannot control and focus on what we can. Take calculated risks. The Stoics didn't shy away from risks, but they were calculated in their approach. They understood that to grow, we must step outside of our comfort zones and face challenges head-on. The fear of failure often holds us back from taking risks, but without risks, we can never grow. The key is to take measured, thoughtful risks, not reckless ones. Every step we take toward growth requires us to take a chance, to push ourselves beyond what we know. Embrace discomfort. Stoicism teaches that discomfort is a part of life, and it is through discomfort that we grow. The Stoics didn't seek pleasure or avoid pain. They accepted both as parts of the human experience. When we fear failure, we often fear the discomfort that comes with it. But by embracing discomfort and seeing it as an opportunity to build resilience, we can overcome the fear of failure and move forward with confidence. Reflect and learn. After experiencing a setback, take time to reflect on what happened. Journaling is a powerful Stoic tool to process and learn from failure. Write down your thoughts. What went wrong? What could you have done differently? What can you learn from this experience? This reflection allows us to grow from failure rather than be defined by it. As we close today's discussion on conquering the fear of failure, remember that failure is not an enemy to be feared, but a tool for growth. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that what stands in the way becomes the way, and this applies to failure as much as any obstacle we face. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and ultimately succeed. The key is not to avoid failure, but to embrace it, to use it as a stepping stone on the path to personal growth and achievement. In a world where the fear of failure can paralyze us, Stoicism offers a powerful shift in perspective. Instead of seeing failure as something that stops us, we can learn to view it as a necessary part of our journey. When we change how we react to failure, when we learn from it rather than fearing it, we open ourselves to greater possibilities, deeper growth, and more meaningful success. So as you move forward, ask yourself, what failure can I embrace today? How can I turn my setbacks into opportunities for growth? Remember, the path to success is not linear. It's full of challenges, mistakes, and yes, failures. But each of these is a lesson that brings you closer to your goals. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who might benefit from this Stoic wisdom. Together, let's conquer the fear of failure and embrace it as a necessary part of the journey.